Good morning, gamers and gentlemen. Nexon just released a new update. We're getting a key part in the crystallization catalyst is significantly easier, so I figured that we're gonna share the new and even the best way of grinding this item as of this very patch. As you see here, I'm currently crafting it because I've done this very method myself as I was researching this, and I don't have Enzo, so let's go over to how I've found to be the best way of actually putting this pretty valuable item, if I may say so myself, together. We're gonna need Murky energy residue, we're gonna need Macromolecule Biogel, we're gonna need mixed energy residue, we're gonna need advanced neural circuit, and then of course a blueprint. And then we craft that. Starting off with the Murky energy residue, we're gonna hop on over to my favorite place. I've ran it a million times, hence which is why I have so many of these, which is the Forgottens. You can do public, but then, you know, it's not really ideal because you will have to play through the whole thing, when in reality you could just instead play it on your own, hop into a private one. You want to defeat the first mini boss, as this will give you 13 of the Murky energy residue. Obviously this isn't too much of a challenge for me, and probably for most people watching, assuming you've grinded a little bit by now, but if you do have issues completing this on your own at this difficulty on hard, I would recommend just running a public or finding somebody who, you know, ideally finding somebody who wants to run with you, who you then can leave later on together without needing to actually cost an entire squad their run. There you go, right there we've got 16 Murky energy residents, and you know, seeing as we have that, we can leave. So that took us about, I'd say about 3 to 4 minutes to get the Murky energy residue, so not too bad altogether. Not too murky. Hit the like button. Okay, so moving on, that was a Murky energy residue, so that's the first step on the way. We got a few more things to pick up, though, so we're gonna go through that as well. The next one is, of course, the Macromolecule Biogel. Now, let's say for the Macromolecule Biogel, there isn't really that much of a speedrun thing. All you can do is be aware of what you can do, which is just spamming these strategic outposts. So let's head on over and do that. And just like that, we got... well, in this case, we got none. So that happens sometimes. That's just the game. That's just RNG, right? But as I mentioned previously, you can just kind of jump in and out to reset it if you're doing public. So I don't believe it works on hard. But there's also this one over here, because there's 2 different ones in the swamps that you can do. But yeah, obviously, so you can just run that on hard. I suggest running on hard because, as I understand it, you will get more of these biogels, so it's a lot more efficient. You know, you'll have to do fewer runs, but obviously you have to keep in mind that the timer will not be resettable as easily. Moving on, we of course have the mixed energy residue, and I would say that this is one of those that changed a lot this patch, other than obviously the Murky one. And that's because of, if you might miss the patch notes, you can basically... these normally would only come from encrypted vaults, but you can now get them from running a mission instead. These are all, so obviously you would have to open vaults in Agna Desert. Now you can just run certain missions in Agna Desert where you defeat an elite opponent, and you are gonna get one as well. Now, the problem is that I ran it a few times, and I very quickly learned that you get like one. The shortest mission that you do have as in Agnes Desert that I could find, that's like 4 minutes or below, that does have the mob we're looking for, only gives us one of these every 4 minutes, and you need 8. Sorry, I forgot to update that one. And remember, you need 8 of these to craft one crystallization, so it's not very efficient. But thankfully, not only did that change this patch, but opening a vault will also give you twice the amount of materials. Now, I do not have Enzo. One normally spawns in here. For some reason it didn't this time, but there is a spawn in here that usually gives an ultra precision. There's a spawn in around here, And there's a spawner on here in the Vermilion Waste alone. You'll get all you need. I figured we'll just open one to show you. Again, I don't have Enzo. If you have Enzo, it actually doubles the amount of materials you get out of the encrypted vaults. I'm currently crafting him, but in the meantime, I figured we get the news out there. So here's one. Let me just use a code breaker real quick so you guys can see. And there you go. We got 7 energy residue from one of them. So you would only have to open 1, maybe 2, depending on how, you know, lucky or even unlucky you are. If you open a precision or open an ultra precision, you'll get even more. And if you use Enzo, you're basically guaranteed to get it by opening 1. When it comes to grinding these, you know, precision breaker, whatever they call both, there's both the analyzers and the breakers, depending on whether you play normal or you play hard. I would suggest playing hard because, again, you get more materials out of it. But if you do want to get as many of these as possible, the most efficient way to farm this is, I've found, is this quest over here. Is the anticipated ambush point. Is basically, I would say it's basically famous by now for how efficient it is, not only for grinding materials or these encryptors or these analyzers or breakers, but also just as a general way to level up and farm really quickly. So I'm just gonna show you guys what that looks like until we get one. There we go, we dropped a code breaker right there. So we got one, it must have taken maybe 2 minutes or less. Obviously it's all RNG dependent, but it's definitely pretty damn fast, and we even got some levels out of it, so pretty worth it overall. Definitely if you ever need to grind anywhere, I cannot recommend going here enough. But moving on, we still have a crystallization catalyst to create, right? So let's move on to the next part of this, which is of course the brain, the advanced neural circuit. So this one is really cool because I was just going through, I was just randomly looking at things the other night, and I realized just how good this specific part is. So I figured we just go over it as soon as we can not get shot at. And this one over here, it's a forgotten comms device. I'm going to show you guys just how easy this thing is to run. It is basically a way to speed run the advanced neural circuit as well. Extremely easy to do. Again, all of this is in hard mode. Very important that it is in hard mode. If you guys aren't in hard mode, I really suggest you finish the story so you can really optimize your leveling up. Turns out somebody else is already running it as well, which is really good. I mean, in most cases, I run privates only before outposts if I want to sneak around. But in most cases, you are better off running publics because you might get people helping you out. Or you might get lucky, as in this case, where they're about halfway done. It's already a very short mission. I shouldn't say halfway, but they are partially done already. Which means that we have to spend less time actually completing it. Really? And just like that, we dropped 3 of these neural circuits. So this run will take a little bit longer because you do need more than 3, but it is such a damn fast run. We need 18 of them, so you would probably have to run this. You get on average like 2, 3, maybe 4 per run. So you would need to run it, you know, at least 6 times. But I'll do it again just to show you just how easy it is. It is extremely easy to do. Again, if more people are running it at the same time, it's even easier. It's right there. It's probably like a handful of waves. See, we basically started after the first wave there, and that's how fast it is. I dropped 2 this time, but again, it averages out at about 3 or so every few runs. But that was it for the brains. I think there's no point in running it more. You guys get the gist of it. So what about the Crystallization Catalyst Blueprint? So first and foremost, you have to clear one of these on your own or with a team or whatever. If you're playing publics, odds are you're usually gonna get teammates. In this very case, I did not. If you do have issues with running these, tough luck, I guess. they're pretty rough, especially this one. If you do have issues with running a lot of these, one way I've found that helps a lot when trying to fight these big hordes, especially if you're like me and you're currently leveling up a new character, which means it will be a little bit harder. Try to play, as you can see, try to play near cover, specifically near this wall or these walls around here. You're still inside of it. If you hug it, we still have cover. So they can run at you because they'll not take too much damage and not get overwhelmed or swarmed. In this very case, watch out for those exploding balls, they are horrible. There you go. Now let's see if we got a... Now we sadly didn't get one in here, but it has about a 5 to 25% drop rate, so it really just depends on whether the RNG gods are smiling down upon you. Once you have cleared it, you can hop on over here in this very case and just open this reactor that you have right here. You will need some parts from it to open it. In this case, that would be 35 organic and 10 inorganic void shards. And as usual, all you have to do is go to the nearby void fragment in the same area. In this case, that's that one over here, which will give us, as you can see here, 11 organic void shards and 4 inorganic void shards. So you would have to do about 4 runs and you will have enough mats to open the reactor. Now I don't have enough Morpheus material, so I cannot open it. And I really just want to get this video out there, but you get the point of it. And depending on your luck, this part will probably take you about maybe up to 10 minutes for this part if you're really unlucky. Maybe even 20 if you're super unlucky, but usually you will have it done. You can also go, I usually suggest just being in this area. A really good spot to grind is of course right here, the June base, because you just hit the teleporter and then you're gonna be literally right next to it. Now it's been, actually hasn't even been cleared, so let's go for it. And what's so convenient about this specific spot is that I wanted to say is that you can actually just easily reset it as well, because the other teleport is conveniently right there, just across the little wall there. You can either choose to jump to this one and then back if you feel really lazy and feel like you have the same luck anyways, or you can just jump to any other base, for example this one over here, to run down and clear what we just did. It really just depends on what you feel like, but ultimately again it will take 10-20 minutes. You're just shaving off maybe a couple of seconds depending on your luck doing this, but it feels good doing it, so why not, right? But anyways, once you put all of these parts together, you of course will get your Crystallization Catalyst, and you'll be able to update one of your slots. And that is the fastest way that you can do it this patch, as far as I'm aware. If you guys know of any better ways, of course, let me know in the comments so we all can know about it. As usual, remember to hit the like, subscribe if you want more videos of the first Descendant, and of course, make sure to check out the Nexon link in the description and the pinned comment, and hit the support button. It really helps me out a lot. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.